2025. I'm sure that individually and collectively we wish for a better economy in 2025. Well, both the International Monetary Fund, IMF, the African Development Bank, and other international forecasters predict that Nigeria's inflation rate will drop by between 7 and 12 points in 2025. This is good news. Turning these projections into reality, however, requires deliberate strategic action by the federal, the states, and local governments. So it cannot be business as usual. If you look at I told people that were with us during the Treasury Board meeting. Yes, good projection. If you take a US dollar, you see in there they put "in God we trust," but they just don't say because they were trusting in God, they won't make budget. So for us also, in God we trust, but we will make budgets that will make the predictions a reality, at least for Oyo State. And so, as the pace-setter state, we have deliberated on the feedback received as we went around all the geopolitical zones and asked for inputs from stakeholders into the 2025 budget. So today, I stand before you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable members of this House to present the Oyo State 2025 budget of stabilization. The goal of this budget is to consolidate the economic gains we engineered through the 2024 budget of economic recovery and translate them into more tangible benefits for our people. It has always been the goal of this administration to ensure that every kobo approved by this House is used to drive sustainable development in Oyo State. So the Oyo State 2025 Appropriation Bill is not going to be any different. We are even more determined to ensure that our people get more benefits from the implementation of this budget. Before I talk about the plans for 2025, permit me, Mr. Speaker, sir, to review the impact of the 2024 budget of economic recovery in our dear state. You will recall the 2024 Appropriation Bill was the first full year's budget we presented under this tenor, under Omituntun 2.0. We were determined to ensure sustainable development by leveraging the 4 pillars of economy, economic expansion through agriculture, infrastructure, solid minerals development, and tourism. Also education, healthcare, and security. So one of the major areas we promised to work on, as supported by 17.11% of that budget, was infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members of this House, I'm happy to report that we delivered 118.07 kilometers of roads to the people of Oyo State. This includes the completion of the 76.67 Seyi Makinde Ogbomoso Road, which we renamed the Adebayo Alao Akala Memorial Highway. That's a stranger in the house. Well, they told us they don't clap in this place, but feel free to clap because they admitted us. This road has greatly increased socio-economic activities in both the Okeogun and Ogbomoso zones, as it provides a vital link between the two zones. We were also able to commence the reconstruction of feeder roads within the state, starting with the Ibadan zone. So far, 43.46 kilometers of feeder roads have been completed, while 59.52 kilometers are ongoing as we continue to make commuting easier for our people. These roads have tremendous impact on our people. I've seen people in Ibadan zone calling to thank us and to say what we're doing has greatly eased the way people move around Ibadan. So we will be extending the feeder road reconstruction and rehabilitation to all other zones under this proposed budget. We're happy. We hear testimonials from residents. One of them, Evangelist Samuel Ayeni, he has lived at Sosami from as far back as 1981, and he sent a message to us that the quality of road construction completed in his area as part of this of the first 38.48 kilometers of feeder roads in Ibadan was excellent. And in his own words, it can be any road anywhere in the world. Still on transportation, we have continued with transportation subsidy, which we introduced in June 2023 and continued under the Sustainable Actions for Socio-Economic Recovery, SAFER, from August 2023 till date. This subsidy has made it possible for about 30,000 of our people to enjoy up to 50% lower cost in transportation on a daily basis, as 75 buses are currently operating in intra and intercity routes. We have delivered support to our smallholder farmers and micro and small enterprise investors. As at October 2024, 2,085 entrepreneurs received part of the 500 million naira low-interest loans we provided to enable them boost their businesses. At the same time, over 10,000 smallholder crop and livestock farmers were given farm inputs, while 1 billion naira was disbursed to 3,525 farmers as low-interest loans under SAFER. We also provided a tractorization subsidy to support smallholder farmers across the state. Furthermore, 3,660 smallholder crop and livestock farmers have so far benefited from the fourth phase of input distribution and training under the Oyo State NG Cares program this year. One question we are always asked is, what impact our investment in agriculture and trade have yielded as the people are still hungry, and the cost of major produce are still high. Yes, we've invested so much, but price of Gary in the market has not gone down. So the question is, why? Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, permit me to relate a personal anecdote which can be entered as a testimonial to the progress we have made so far. A few weeks ago, precisely after attending the personal parade of the 480 Amatekun Forest Rangers, I decided to pay a surprise visit to one of our agribusiness investors at Ado-Awaye, Sultry. I was shocked by the number of trucks loaded with produce that passed us. Upon inquiry, I discovered that these trucks come into our state to purchase the cassava we produce, which they sell in surrounding states. As a matter of fact, because I took Ado-Awaye to Maya, to Erua. I wanted to check a bridge that collapsed out there. And then I took the Erua to Ibadan Road. We met not less than maybe 30, 40 trucks heading empty towards Ibarapa and Okeogun zone of Oyo State. Well, it is not economically viable to place an embargo on interstate trade. Yeah, there's freedom of movement within Nigeria. You can go to any state, purchase what you want to purchase. That freedom is guaranteed. But for us in Oyo State, we cannot be investing for others to reap. So there must be a way for us to get value for our investments and harvest. So they require data to show our accomplishment. So it is for this reason that I've directed that while intrastate trade in agricultural produce will not be taxed, trucks carrying produce out of our state will now be taxed. We'll continue to take actions that will move our people from poverty to prosperity. Through personal experience, I know that one of the core areas that can change the destiny of our people is access to quality education. This year, we missed an opportunity to use the long holiday when our students were on long holiday to embark on repair of at least 100 dilapidated secondary schools. Well, it's a missed opportunity. We will still fix those schools in the coming months. Meanwhile, 105 primary schools in rural communities are being renovated under the World Bank assisted Better Education Service Delivery for All BESDA program, and they are at 95% completion. We plan to do more in the coming year. Also, we have embarked on massive recruitment of teachers. A total of 14,500 primary and secondary school teachers are waiting for letters of employment. This is the first time in the history of Oyo State that such a number of teachers are being recruited at the same time. In fact, we broke our own record of 5,000 secondary school teachers recruited in one go under Omituntun 1.0. The new teachers will be part of the beneficiaries of the 80,000 Naira minimum wage. which we're proposing for civil servants in Oyo State, as we transition from the wage award of 25,000 for civil servants and 10,000 naira for pensioners. We'll continue to prioritize the healthcare sector, having upgraded 209 primary healthcare centers under Omituntun 1.0. We have taken the next steps of equipping these 209 PHCs and an additional 55, making 264 primary healthcare centers. We also completed the upgrade of General Hospital, Arimo, Ibadan. In keeping with our promise under Omituntun 2.0, we're also recruiting 332 doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers, as well as 3,000 primary healthcare workers to address the shortfall of medical personnel in our state. We hope this will cut down wait times in hospitals for people like Mrs. Mercy Aki Silure, who assesses medical care at the upgraded General Hospital, Arima. She can understand where we're coming from. Under the SAFER package, we also paid the 2024 health insurance premiums for 40,000 pensioners and tertiary education students in state-owned institutions under the Oyo State Health Insurance Agency scheme. And we're currently working on paying the health insurance premiums for 100,000 vulnerable persons. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members of the House, permit me at this point to present the Oyo State's 2025 Appropriation Bill that will support the new minimum wage and power further investment in our economy, education, healthcare, and security sectors. We're proposing a budget of 678 billion, 86,767,332 naira 18 kobo, 678,086,767,332.18. Of this, 343 billion 28,948,216 naira 20 kobo, which is 50.59% is for capital expenditure, while 335 billion 57,819,115 naira 98 kobo, which is 49.41% is for recurrent expenditure. Having looked at the data, including current inflation trends and projections for the year 2025, our budget of economic stabilization is just about 35% higher than our 2024 budget of economic recovery. We kept in mind the fact that we want an implementable budget. As of October, our last budget is at about 65% implementation, which is 5% short of our projection. We believe that our revenue options will support over 70% implementation in 2025. As stated, our plan is to spend a little over 50% of the proposed budget on capital expenditure, while about 49% goes into recurrent expenditure. I'll do a slight breakdown of the budget, but when you're moving towards 70% budget implementation, the implication is that if you have anything in the budget for your area, there's 70% chances that it will be done. This is a departure from the past. Before this administration came in 2019, when budget performance stood at about 30 to 35%. So we've been able to actually bridge the trust gap between the government and the people. So infrastructure gets the highest share of the budget. We have earmarked 152 billion, 265 million, 859,738 naira 19 kobo, 152, 265, 859, 738.19. This is 22.46% of the total budget. Education gets the second highest appropriation at 145 billion, 354 million, 783,399 naira 80 kobo, 145, 354, 783, 399.80. This is 21.44% of the total budget, and it is above the UNESCO recommended standard. As stated before, the infrastructure deficit in the education sector and our inability to meet up with our plans in the current year's budget has necessitated an increase in the allocation. We hope to renovate a number of schools in the coming year. Health and agriculture at 59 billion, 411 million, 385,714 naira 68 kobo, and 18 billion, 760 million, 243,348 naira 45 kobo, about 9% and 3% of the budget respectively. And let me also say that the budget for Agric, we are majorly encouraging investors in that sector. So our budget is to stimulate more activities in the Agric sector, but the major driver will be private investors. So we strongly believe that this budget will live up its name as the economic stabilization that will support our Oyo State roadmap for sustainable development 2023 to 2027. Our plan is to bring more smiles into the faces of investors, smallholder farmers, micro and small entrepreneurs, our teachers and other public servants, our parents, our children, our youths, and all residents of Oyo State. When I hear people say, well done, like a note that I received from Oluwaseun Adeomi, I always, when I hear people say well done, I'm always thankful to God for the opportunity that He has given us to serve the good people of Oyo State. And I want to hear more of those well done. So if you haven't said well done for whatever we have done in your area, please say well done to my prayer, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable members of the House, is that you extend the same hand of fellowship and union that we have enjoyed over the years as we deliberate on the 2025 Appropriation Bill, and grant it passage you know, since we came in 2019, we met a budget on ground, and then we presented our first full-year budget in 2020. We've never missed passing the budget before the end of the year. So I believe that this year is not going to be different. So I'm pleading that this budget be passed expeditiously so that by 1st of January, the budget will kick in. We remember years past when they may not even bring the budget for the year to the House until around February or March. But for 5 years running now, our budget has been on time, on schedule, with budget performance of over 70%. So I hope, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable members of the House, you will grant my prayer so that the budget is passed to the benefit of residents of our dear state. I thank you, and God bless you.